Good evening, and welcome to Thinking Re-envisioned with the incomparable Henry G. Noel, or as I like to call it, paving the way to your peace of mind. Here's Henry.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Transitional Radio's number 2 rated show on IPMNation.com, Thinking Re-envisioned. I wish to thank all of our listeners for getting this show into that number 2 spot. Thank you so much for being so supportive and so loyal. I appreciate it. My name is Henry G. Noel, and I am your host. And I wish to thank you for joining me this Tuesday evening on our ninth episode. And we are live this evening Ecuador, 2 degrees south of the equator, where the girth of the earth actually needs to go on a diet. We are broadcasting live from our Uplink studios in Cuenca on IPMNation.com, Thinking Re-envisioned's Facebook and YouTube pages. And I wish to thank our listeners from all over the globe, those listening on live radio, those listening to our rebroadcasts, and of course, I can't say it enough, you guys, fly on the wall video listeners. It's great to have you. I wish to thank you for our good friends at Wirecast for making it possible for us to be broadcasting both live and globally. To all of our listeners who wish to participate in this show, email me at henry@henrygnoel.com. It is my wish to present a show that, well, where everybody can voice their opinions and be as actively involved as they want. Thinking Re-envisioned. We are here to make you think. We're here to make you question. Question everything. So we trust that you have had a good Tuesday up till now, at least hopefully up to now. So let's get into the thread, say hi, and see what's on everybody's mind this evening. So good evening, everybody. It's great to see you. Let's see who all is here. Of course, Rita, they're holding up the fort. That's for sure. Joseph, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. It's great. It's great to see you. Great to see your icon pop up. And let's see. Let's see what else it is. Oh, Candace, hello there. How are you? Joseph is there. Alice is there. Mary, thank you so much. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Candace, yep, still there. John, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Noella, wow, pleasure to see you. Thank you for joining us. Great to see you. And a great hello to everybody. I'm hoping that everybody is having a great evening. And sorry, I'm trying to get this microphone adjusted so we have some volume here. I'll see if my brother likes that a little bit better. Oh, it's on breaking up. Okay, well, hey, that's news to me. I thought I had a real good marriage going. So okay, well, we'll see what happens here. Not sure if it's the microphone or if it's just the system. We've just got done with a big storm here, so I don't know if that is going to make a difference. And the lights have been flickering on and off, so maybe we are kind of shaky with the internet. But we'll see what happens. Any better, bro? Okay. All right. Anyway, so everybody, welcome to the show this evening. It's really great to see you guys here. It's great to have you here. I posted today. I wanted to talk about whether change, are changing. The whole objective of this show, Thinking Re-envisioned, is to give us a new way of thinking, to take us a step back and a step out of who we have been all our lives, and to show us who we could be if we simply change the way we think and the way that we believe and the way and our perceptions. And to do that, obviously, we falls under the category of self-renewal or self-improvement or just simply change. And I was kind of curious as to where everybody is on all of this and what they think about it. Is it something that is of interest to everybody to change rather than constantly come up with some wisdom thing to say? To see whether or not that it is really important for you all to see the need to change and are willing to go through the aches and the pains and the suffering of happening to do that, because it is giving up a lot of what we are so familiar with. Everything that we've identified ourselves with up to now comes under question, and that's what this whole change concept really is. So identifying whether or not is we're interested in trying to change, or is it simply lip service? Is it something we're committed to try to do, or again, it's something that I would rather have the next door neighbor do rather than me? Or instead of me changing, I'd rather everybody else change to the way I think. So I'd be curious about your opinions as to what you think. Joseph says change isn't for sissies. No, boy, is that the rightest statement I've heard all evening. Yes, boy, Joseph, it is. Change is not for the faint of heart. It is a serious commitment. It's uh, a serious challenge, and it's one that goes against our grain. I mean, to say that we need to change or that we want to change what? Change how? Change the lights, change, what is it that we have to change? And it's very difficult. It's such a hard concept to try to discuss and to try to talk about, on the light term, because it is so involved. Because it involves every single aspect of our lives. I mean, it is. We've gone through so many of these different concepts that have to really be worked on. We talked about being honest with ourselves. That's the first thing. We have to be honest. And this is a time in society where everybody lies, and it's been accepted. So being honest is really a tough thing to try to really convince people they need to do. Um, Getting rid of all the fear that we have, and not having it so where people can actually place fear in us and get us to be fearful. So being able to thicken our skins a little bit and to be a little bit more in control of our own lives. Getting rid of the hatred that fear usually generates, and to not be hateful, to not be discriminatory, to not be all of these things that we seem to just jump in and do. Try to go ahead and make sure that we don't label each other. Very critical that we don't label each other. Also, to get rid of guilt. We have a past. The past is gone. There's nothing we can do to change it. Stop feeling guilty about it. There's nothing we can do about it. It's over. And stop being afraid of the future, because the future only exists in our minds. No one's ever promised us the future. We don't have that agreement with anybody. I haven't signed a contract that guarantees I'll wake up tomorrow morning, or that I'll actually finish this show. So, worrying about tomorrow is a senseless waste of time. It's taking you from the now, forcing you to deal with tomorrow, and tomorrow's not even a guarantee. So why waste our time? Same thing with worrying about our past. It's not anything we can do. It's all gone. And so we need to live more in the now. Going through and having all the issues of the belief systems that we have, and how they have been generated, and why we believe in them. This is another thing that we have to deal with and have to really understand and get that concept going. So I want to welcome Marcia to the show. Thank you for joining us. It's great to see you pop up. I'm so glad that you're there. I'm working hard. Candace is there. Says, I have a lot of things to work I'm working on, but Rome was simple one night, and absolutely it's not. I figured, Candace, the way I look at it, it's taken me 69 years to get to where I'm. It's not going to be changed tomorrow. Believe me, it's going to take some time. So it's definitely going to be it's a definite in process activity for me. Marcia says a virtual acupuncture. Absolutely, yep. It's a perpetual virtual acupuncture every moment of our lives to try to change. I'm going to say hi to Patty. Glad that you're to see you. Glad that you joined us. It's our meetings to see that on pop up, but we mentioned that you joined in, so thank you for joining in with us. Just nothing is for sure. We have to adjust. Yes, we do. Constantly have to adjust. And what seems to be appropriate right now may not be appropriate tomorrow. It's just what goes on. John said having mic issues. It's going on in and out. Yep, that's the mic thing. I'm not sure what's going on with this or why. I'm going to do something over here and see if I pop up the gain a little bit. Let me know if that changes anything for you, John. I just would like to know. Maria says everything is subject to change. Absolutely right. Everything is. And Candace says, I overthink everything. That's one thing I have to stop. And you know what? That's thank you. That's honest. Thank you, Candace. That's exactly what it is. It's one thing is to know what our problems are. Admitting we have them problems, and then having to go through and then finding out what we have to do to change. Janet, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. It's great to see your icon pop up. And hello, right back at you. It's great to have you here. And you chime in anytime. We are all family. We're all friends on this show. So enjoy the show. We are, change is such a hard thing to do. We know that we have to do it if we're going to really improve ourselves, if we're going to change the world, as we always say. Mary says, one of the best changes I'm working on that I do have control over is getting rid where I beat myself up, replacing them with positive. Thank you, Mary. That's absolutely perfect. Uh, thumbs up to you too, Ryan. Thank you for tuning in. It's great to have you here. But you're absolutely right, Mary. That's the thing. There are things that we can do to make the changes in ourselves, and they don't have to be big things. I mean, we can take little tiny steps and achieve bigger goals than anything. And audio is not clear. Sorry about that. I don't know really what else I can do to try to clear it up. I don't really know, honestly. I'm playing with some dials here to see if that makes a difference. But I don't know. Is it breaking? What's happening? Okay, let's try that. Okay, we're gonna take just hang loose, everybody. I'll just keep talking, but my brother's gonna shut this down, and then we're gonna start right back up again. So just don't I'll have to come up in another window. Okay, let's see what's and because I mean, we're represented with by 30 people being here, 30 different countries represented here, and so to me, it's very important that that we understand what we're trying to do, where we're trying to go with all of this, and I think we have to do that. We have to recognize that we're kind of being misled at times, as far as everything goes, and so it's really hard. I mean, we lived our life being told what is right, what is wrong, and that's really not what it's about anymore. I mean, we have to start taking ownership of this for ourselves and start deciding what it is. I mean, to have someone tell us that, oh well, yes, the world's a mess, and that these people are our enemies, and so we have to do that. We have to go and deal with that as an enemy. To me, I don't think I agree with that at all. I think we are up to ourselves. It's up to us to really do this the way we're supposed to do it and reason for ourselves. So I think that that's really the direction we need to go. I'm hoping everybody gets to relink back again. Sorry about the cutoff. But I don't know how the sound is going now, but hopefully Wayne will tell me in a second here. But yeah, the whole objective is to really take a good assessment at our life and what we're being told. And of what we're being told, how much do we really want to believe? Like I said, lying is such the issue anymore. It is so prevalent. It is so widespread. I mean, it's widespread enough to where now, if you actually want to state the truth and call the lie a lie, that's almost fake news, and it's getting to be on a crazy, ridiculous scale. You know, what if I swapped out my mic, Wayne? Let me see. Let me see what I've got. It's all the default. Everything is the same. Okay. So I don't know what it is. Hold on. I'm gonna do that. I'll Let me go ahead and go get the other mic, and I'll do that. So let me see what I got to do. Get this off. Well, let me unplug this and go this. All right. Let's see how this works. I don't know how the sound is going to be, but we'll try that and see if that works. Should still be the same mic. That should be the same. Okay. So still breaking up. So it's not me. It is the something. It's just, all right. Sorry about that, folks. But I'll bring in the big mic and we'll try this. But, sorry about the audio. I don't know how we go. I guess being 2 degrees south of the border, 3 south of the equator, I guess it does make a great big difference. So we'll see how things go there. That should probably be high enough now, I think, bro. We'll see. How's that? Okay. Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on. Okay. Well, thank you, Mary. So she's saying it's sounding a little gurgly. Well, that's probably true. Tacos for dinner. That could possibly be it. No, I had a salad for dinner actually. Oh yeah, yeah. Thanks, Joseph. Yeah. Now I got the big mic. Let's see. We got. Okay, Rita's saying it's a little bit better now, so we'll go from there and see how that goes. Although she might be hearing me from up here, I don't know. We'll see. Sound is much better. Thank you very much, Maria. I appreciate that. Thank you, Janet. It's great. Thank you, Janet. I thank you. Appreciate the feedback. Thank you. One of the benefits of having the thread. Thank you. So yes. So change. It's a voluntary thing. Do we need to change, or do we want everybody else to change? Hi, Candace, and welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're trying to have been having fun with some of the audio stuff here today, so well, hopefully this will go a little bit smoother. The problem is I got to keep looking down at the mic to make sure I'm talking in the right spot. Anyway, this is where we're trying to go is, you know, the whole concept of trying to change little things here and there, things that are really affecting us officially or affecting us in our lives, things that cause us to be in fear, or things that cause us to be anxious or to hate, or things that make us question everything. These are the stuff that we really have to work on and we really have to look at. And it is a challenge. Believe me, it is a very big challenge. Uh, because it's not something we planned on having to do in this life. We just never thought about it. And now all of a sudden we've got everybody saying, wow, you wanna help change the world? Well, that means you gotta change yourself. Well, that's great. So what do I gotta change? How do I change? And what is it that I have to change? And why is it if the world's a reflection of me, why did they pick on me? Why can't it be a reflection of somebody else? And I'm joking. I'm not really joking. These are questions I've asked myself over the time through all of this change thing. And so, yes, it's been an interesting situation. Yes, and you're right, Joseph. Sometimes change is forced on us, and that is really one of the keys when you really start getting um, into what change and the effects that change has. We don't tend to want to voluntarily change, but sometimes the decision to change was made for us by some situation or some person that has made the decision for us. Which is why I say, when things have happened in my life, everybody asks, well, if there was anything you could change in your life, Henry, what would it be? I wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't be here right now. I changed one thing in my life, and because when I was had to change, I was forced to change. When I chose to do it, it was my choice, and I chose to do it. And so, yes, it is something that sometimes someone or something or some circumstance or some event uh, forces a change on us. And it could be minor, it could be an extremely major, losing your job, uh, you know, uh, some major changes, or getting a job in another state or another country, major upheavals in our lives. And we're forced to change. We're forced to change our thinking. We're forced to change what what we would have done under any normal circumstances. Joseph says that it's being prepared for the unexpected. Absolutely. Change is going to occur. In fact, the only guarantee that I can give you in life as far as what is going to be will hold its own is change. That will always happen. Marcia says, let's be kind, sensitive, and considerate. What you say and do changes lives. Yes, it does, Marcia. It really does. And we have to understand that what we do, what we say, can affect someone else's life. And that's the one hard thing that we have to realize. Although, thickening our skins a little bit does help. We are creatures of habit. Yes, we are. And trying to break those habits is extremely difficult because our habits have been developed by our beliefs, by our upbringing, by everything that we are and identify ourselves with right now. That's what created it, our habits. And in essence, what we do when we try to break a habit is we actually are creating a habit to replace it. So we have to be very careful with the habits that we then recreate to replace the habit that we're trying to get rid of. And we got to make sure we do that correctly. John says incremental change is not real change. Those are changes to continue to prop up the current situation. And Rita says change affects us by the way we react to what happens, and that's absolutely true. The change is going to occur. It will occur with or without our approval. It will or will not occur if we really want it to happen. It's going to happen. Change occurs. I guarantee it's the only thing that's certain is change. And so yes, we really have to understand that change does affect everything. And yes, because everything is so interwoven in our lives that little changes in one affect the other areas of our life. And so that's the thing that we have to realize. So if we're trying to work on, let's say, being honest, but something comes up that causes us to be in a fear mode, it can affect us being honest. back and forth, and the same thing with labels. So they're all tied together, and they all by having them all tied together, that's what creates who we are, how we see ourselves, how we define ourselves. And so, yes, it's a very complicated, a very convoluted process that all of the loose strings are all connected to one another in one form or fashion. And so, yes, so a change in one will cause a change in another, and you may not be ready for that change, and so you have to be prepared for that. John says, Mary says, John, you mean like reaching across the aisle? There you go, agree, not a real change. But and again, it depends on the intention. Those are all the things that absolutely go through. Marcia says absolutely true. Thank you. Really is a very hard process. Change is it's a very uncomfortable process because we have to be placed way outside of our comfort zone. We have to deal with re-identifying us from from totally different points of view. And so we become familiar with who we are. And now we have to go through and start redefining ourselves. But we have very little criteria on how to re-identify ourselves. And so we have to create that as well, which is why I say, we have to look at um, ourselves as constant work. We are constantly in a state of work and of renewal. Self renewal is a very tough thing because there's so much we have to admit. The things that we do wrong, the things that we could have done differently, again, and yet not get guilty, not to feel guilty about it, because that's part of one of the things we have to eliminate. So it's understanding, yeah, we've messed up in our lives. Of course we have. We've all lied. Of course we have. And that is the process. But it's stopping all of that now. It's realizing it and saying, okay, well, from here on out, I'm drawing my line in the sand. We're not going to do this anymore. It's going to be different. And that's what we really have to do. Joseph says, so what do you tell a woman who asks what she looks like in the dress? I've got a great answer for that. I mean, my dad, he was such a piece of work, but he would have the girls we would date. The girls would come over and ask him how they looked before they would go out. And my dad's response to them, if they looked really bad, I mean, my dad would tell him, "You look like a hooker. Go home and change. Take off all that makeup and change your clothes. Be more. Just cool it down a little bit." And everybody in the neighborhood would come to him and ask for his opinion. So my thing is be honest. If they don't look that good, then say that something's wrong, but be constructive with your answer, as he would do. You need to change this. Take the makeup off, or that's way too much eye makeup, or it's too much rouge. He would tell them what to go do, and they go do it, and they come back and say, "How do I look now?" Perfect. So my dad was a very, very honest when it came to that, and so we learned to be very honest. There is a very comfortable way to tell somebody they look really trashy, and so that's the way I would answer that, Joseph. It can be done. Candace says, "I think something every day." I think something every day, a single day, situations come up. Yes, they do. Absolutely. Change the topic. Thanks, Orsley. I love that. Whatever you do, don't tell her she looks pregnant. No, you don't want to go that far. No, that's not it. This is 45 and we're under 30. That's it. That's it. That's we have issues that we do have to deal with at times. But honesty is really the best policy. It really is. I mean, there is a very nice way to tell somebody that they're just off a little bit on their thinking. I mean, having been a manager in manufacturing for a large part of my career, that I faced that all the time. Somebody did something wrong. I had to sit them down and say, wait a minute, this is not the way. Or they came in dressed inappropriate for the job or what they were going to be doing. And I'd have to send them home to go change and come back. And there are ways you learn how to be very, very comfortable with correcting someone's mannerisms, someone's way of dealing with things. I mean, that's something that just becomes nature as the more that you do it, the more that you're honest. And then people expect that of you. I mean, that is the one thing. I've had people come up and tell me, Henry, I really don't like some of the things you said, but I respect you for saying them because no one else would have ever had the guts to tell me this. So I won't just say I'd never lie. No, I'm not going to do that. If somebody wants my opinion, I'm going to give them my opinion. I mean, the other alternative is don't ask me for my opinion because I'm going to give it to you. And so that's the other side of the coin. And so I don't have any problems opening my mouth and telling somebody what I think because especially when they've asked. And so, that is that's my key. That's the open door. I mean, we have the thing, I mean, my dad would preface things. I mean, he would say, "Are you really sure you want me to be honest?" "Yeah." "Okay." And then he would. And he said, "Well, you asked for it, so now you get it, but here's what you can go do to fix the situation." So, yeah, there are pleasant ways to do it, that are respectful and still get the job done. And then there are times when they won't listen, and you just simply have to be firm. You wanted my opinion, I've given you my opinion, and, I told you sometimes you're not gonna like my opinion, but this is what I feel, and then we go from there. So, yes, honesty has always been my policy, regardless of what it's gonna do for somebody because I'm trying to help them grow, I'm trying to help them learn, and trying to get them to understand that they don't have to come and ask me the next time what my opinion is because they've already now corrected the situation, and that works well. And then now my brother did the same thing when he was working in manufacturing. That was one thing with him. He's bluntly honest, and I love that because it is. Again, I always said, my dad always told me, Henry, you can go out there and make a million mistakes. Just don't make the same one twice. Learn from mistakes. Well, you don't learn by doing things right. You learn by doing them wrong, and you have to correct them. So criticism doesn't hurt anybody. You just got to learn to thicken the skin a little bit and go from there. Let's see. Rita says that he does not speak with forked tongue. I don't ask unless you really don't ask if you don't really want to know. Thank you, Rita. I appreciate the honesty. Thank you. John says the school system is designated off the factory floor settings. We are taught to be obedient consumers, employees. We have to stop and re-envision a completely new way of being. And again, John, you're dealing with and I don't care what they say, you're dealing with a government entity, literally. That school system is strictly is supported by the government and funds from the government. And it is extremely difficult because the one place that doesn't seem to change ever is the government. So that's the hard part. We doing on time there, bro? Are we getting close? Okay. So we have about a half a minute. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody tonight. Thank you all for joining in, and thank you for being so supportive. I cannot thank you enough. I appreciate all that you have done for me, and I highly respect you all for that, and thank you. And again, don't hesitate. You have questions, don't be afraid to put them in the thread. Everybody that's on the thread here, everybody listening to the radio, you have questions, email me, Henry at henrygnoel.com, and I will get into them. I will answer them. As Joseph found out, I will put a show together if I have to try to get the point across. So, Mary says, my closest friends are people who are bluntly honest, including my husband. And there's nothing wrong with being bluntly honest. It's being constructively honest. And all righty, guys. Hasta luego. Hasta mañana. Have a great evening. Thank you so much. Take care.